What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Redemption with Jaden. Today's the day. The tank is clean, Israel's inheritance is on Lackey. Hopefully, you guys have, if you're a Lackey user, you've been able to get the update performed for the plugin so that you can start building decks and playing games with the latest set. And man, I was totally trying to have Promised Land highlighted there, but I guess it went over to the, I don't know, whatever the other card was. But we're gonna be doing some deck building today. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten any games in yet because I haven't actually built any decks with Israel's Inheritance yet. So that's what we're going to be doing today, doing some deck building. One of the first decks that I wanted to build with the newest set was one centered around Promised Land and trying to play it, ideally as many times as possible. And I think it's a cool card and a fun card, and I wanted to try it out. And so yeah, that's the idea that we're going to be building from in this video. And I started out with a Thieves defense already in here because I figured, for one, it would save a little bit of time because I wanted to do a just like fully like take all their things sort of fun style of deck. And we already kind of know what Thieves do, and you know, we've been around GOC. If you've been watching my channel recently, you should definitely know what Thieves are trying to do. I kind of made it a more balanced, or like, you know, right now it's got like 9 evil characters if you count the dual alignment guys, which, you know, hey, Zacchaeus and Repentant Thief are both in gold, so they can work for our offense too in a pinch if needed. And then got 7 evil enhancements, and then I've got some stuff in the reserve starting out here too, as just kind of a baseline to work from. I just didn't want to spend extra time in the video going through that if you know, we kind of already know what's going on there, so that way I can just add the new stuff and then kind of trim it back if needed once we get towards the end. So that is the idea here. I figured that way also wouldn't take as much, like if I try to do a new offense and a new defense in a deck building video, it would just take way too long. So we're going to try to keep this one moderately brief. Of course, you know, I say that all the time and it doesn't always happen. So yeah, we'll see what happens here, but that is my goal, at least. I'll put it that way. So we're going to try to just take all the things from our opponent. Joshua offense from Israel's Inheritance is sort of built around doing that, just, you know, taking stuff from your opponent. You can kind of see that because the ultra rare that they have, which, I mean, I guess they also have Captain of the Host in the Joshua offense there, but you know, this is kind of the signpost ultra rare, kind of giving an idea of, okay, here's what this theme is trying to do, similar to how Abishai is like trying to get, you know, lots of David's mighty men in battle, getting benefits from the equip and all that. So yeah, Promised Land is kind of our build around, you know, ultra rare. If you open a Promised Land in one of your Israel's Inheritance packs, then you can go ahead and start building a deck similar to this. So maybe you'll even open a foil one, which I think that's a good opportunity to transition real quick to talk about our sponsors over at Your Turn Games. They do have Israel's Inheritance now available. That was kind of part of the deal, was that we were waiting for the Lackey plugin to go live for when the retailers had the product in hand, which as of the very end of last week, they did, and that's why, you know, the Lackey plugin was soon to follow. Kind of had to put the last few pieces into place for that, and so now you can go ahead and find some Israel's Inheritance here on Your Turn Games. You can search for the new cards. It's not coming up. The Promised Land. Getting just the old one. What's going on? Is it not? Oh, okay. It's not the Promised Land, is it? Oh, it's just Promised Land. Okay. Yeah, I bet. So there's Promised Land, the regular one, $55. There's the Promised Land foil version, which Andy's got listed for $750. That's kind of crazy. That's for one card. If you don't know about the foil versions of these cards, of the ultra rares in Israel's Inheritance, they are about roughly one in every 10 packs or 10 boxes, sorry. One in every 10 boxes will have a foil ultra rare, which every box is supposed to be guaranteed to have one ultra rare. Apparently, there have been a few boxes, or at least one box that I've, to my knowledge, that has had two ultra rares. So somebody, got lucky there. That's happened to me before. I've opened boxes where I got more ultra rares than I expected, but so that's always exciting. They put a little surprise in there for you, I guess, whether it's on accident or on purpose. I don't know, but that's always fun. But yeah, even more of a surprise, I guess, would be if you open one of these foil ultra rares and they might not actually be going for 750. Like, I don't know if any have sold at this price yet. I know some were at 700, and people have kind of been waffling around that number or kind of that's what's been thrown out. But whether or not these will actually change hands at that price, we shall see what the market kind of goes. But that's a good starting basis. So if you open one, you could trade it to me, or you could just hold on to it for a little bit and maybe see where the money's gonna end up, or where the market's gonna end up on that. So that is what I wanted to go over from Your Turn Games. Here are sponsors on this channel. You can get singles, you can get the common sets, rare sets, you can get complete sets. Any way you wanna receive your Israel's Inheritance, not just on Lackey, then physical cards, then you can go ahead and do that. Also on that note, I will be doing another box opening, at least one. I might open two boxes. I might do them in the same video. I did do one earlier, and I mentioned that in last week's video too. But I did one about a month ago now. And so if you missed that, you can go back and look at that, see some of the cards in person, I guess, or physical cards. You're not in person, but physical cards and in paper, and or you can just keep watching and you'll see some on Lackey as well, or do the update to Lackey and you can see them for yourselves. If you are not aware of the update on Lackey, I just want to give like a little shout out, I guess, to the Cactus forums, the message boards, which are kind of a little bit of a wasteland these days, but they are definitely useful for some things like this, where we can have this thread that people can go back to and reference the new update, and also make comments and stuff about anything that might have been missed, or basically just any other bugs you notice in the Lackey plugin, whether it's related to Israel's Inheritance or otherwise. You can see that there were some things from or not Israel's Inheritance related that were updated in this plugin. So we're always trying to make it better, more accurate, have the data more accessible and searchable and all that kind of stuff. So if you notice anything on Lackey, just go to this kind of a general notice, I guess. Just go to whatever the latest update to the Lackey plugin post is, whatever has the most recent date. So this one is September 16th, 2024. If you just go to the forums and you make a post on, or a reply on this thread, that's going to be the easiest way for us who, those of us who put together the Lackey plugins, the updates. That's just going to be the easiest place for us to have all of those and then reference later as we're making the updates. So really, fairly simple stuff like changing some of the types that got missed, or adding identifiers, for instance, like the ROJ, or Revelation of John alternate border image of the beast, was missing the idol identifier, but the regular version had it, and it is an idol. So adding that for consistency, and also just for reference, if you want to look at all the idols, you don't have to use the regular version. You can use the fancy alternate border one. So that is just kind of an example, I guess. The one, I guess, main one or other thing that I wanted to point out is that the card name of the hard-hearted pharaoh from Cloud of Witnesses was changed to the hard-hearted pharaoh, which is what's printed on the card, and that's how the alternate border version is. And then there was also a correction to the special ability on that card. And so if you have any decks that you were in which you were using the hard-hearted pharaoh, you will notice when you load that deck that hard-hearted pharaoh is going to be missing. That's because I changed the card name to match, so you're going to have to re-add that. Just with the new card name, if you change the name of a card in the data, or if we change it in the plugin, the data of the plugin, then it's your deck list is going to be missing that, I guess, because the card as it's named no longer exists. So just a little bit of insight, and I guess for future reference, we try not to do that very often. We're not going to change the names to put like the set identifiers in there for like previous sets. You'll notice that if a card is printed with the same name as another existing card, then it will have the kind of set identifier in parentheses or something afterwards. We're not going to go back and do the same for the other version of the card. So typically the earliest version of the card is not going to have that set identifier or set, I guess I don't want to say identifier because that's something else, but a set indicator, I guess, at the end of the title, the card title, just because that would remove it then from everybody who's been using it in their deck. So that's kind of a, I don't know, I guess a little insight into how we do the Lackey updates, how the plugin works. So yeah, the other updates are that the Israel's Inheritance set was added along with packs that have roots. So you can go and check this out on the forums if you want to get all the details on what exactly was updated, and then also post any follow-up things. If you are not familiar with how to update Lackey, just go over to the plugin tab over here at the top. You put in the redemptionquick.lackey or .com/lackey/updatelist.txt URL. You're gonna, if you've been using the redemption plugin for a while or you've had it before, it might show up in your recent URLs here, and you can just click and it will populate there. And then you just go over, click install or update from URL. If you don't have the URL handy, there are places you can find it on the forums and stuff. You can also just grab it from the description below and just copy, paste it into here. You can use this paste auto update URL button to paste it in there, and then install or update from URL. You'll start seeing stuff happen over here in this, like kind of basically an update of what it's doing. And here I'm already up to date. It says all your files seem to be up to date. No need to download anything. If you haven't done the update yet, you'll get more messages that say updating things, and then your cards will show up, and the card images might take a few seconds to load up, or take a little while to pull the new images down. But you can just go through the whole set and load all of those images. So that is the information on the Lackey plugin and the updates. So let's go ahead and get into the building of the deck that we're going to be doing today, which I'm pretty excited for this deck. I think it's going to be kind of fun. Maybe not the most competitive deck, or at least not the most competitive version of it. I'm just kind of going for the fun aspect, I guess. But it'll be, I mean, it's fun and annoying. I think Promised Land is going to be any card or any theme, I guess, that's kind of built around taking your opponent's cards and then being able to use them against your opponent, I think is kind of cool, kind of fun, but going to be annoying for your opponent because they built their deck to play their own cards, and then you're not going to let them do that. So the ways that I think are best for resetting Promised Land are going to be, let's go out of the Israel's Inheritance filter here, but I think Shrine to Artemis is kind of the main one. That was the first one that came to mind for me, at least for kind of a more like the most repeatable. So you can, when you activate it, you can shuffle a card in your territory into deck to search deck for a Black Greek and put it in play. I don't think we're going to end up with any Black Greeks. We could just put in the Priest of Zeus, like splash it in here for now. He's going to be risky with choose the blocker stuff. I don't have any of the Thief Unity cards in here. I don't think. Yeah, so I'm not too worried about that. But he's off brigade, so vulnerable to choose the blocker. So just be careful not putting him down. We might just cut it. We'll see. But I do have Betrayal in here that you can play. The other way to reset Promised Land fairly easily and like I guess not like or it's not repeatable, but it's just very, I don't know, I guess synergistic, or like there's potential for other synergies or things that can go well with this, is Lost Child Found, which I'm just going to put in reserve for now. We might, we could do this. We could put the New Covenant in reserve, because I think we're going to end up playing Book of the Covenant. And then if New Covenant is in here, then we can get Lost Child Found out that way. And then we're probably, since we're going to be in gold, I'm just going to go ahead and grab Amazing Faith and Teaching in Parables, because those are just going to be good anyways. Like, I'm saying this is a fun deck, but I'm not going to leave out cards that are just obviously should be included, I guess. And maybe it's not completely obvious that that these cards should both be in there, but Amazing Faith is just, it's really good in battle, and Teaching in Parables is one of the best cards in GOC in my opinion. There's a lot of good cards in GOC, so that's saying something, but I mean, it's at the very least one of my favorite, and it just works well with this deck. You don't take the card, but you at least, it complements what else you're taking. So I also like 20 shekels in here. I think just the way that you're kind of trying to manipulate what your opponent can and can't use, and then also bouncing cards to their hand that you could then take. That just seems like a good plan. I haven't started adding Israel's Inheritance cards yet, but I'm not very familiar with them yet. So that's something that I have to figure out. Speaking of Book of the Covenant, I guess once we shuffle Promised Land back into the deck with Shrine to Artemis, we're going to need ways to get it back out relatively quickly. And I think the best way to do that with the restrictions that we have, which is mainly like the Unity on Promised Land, which is Unity Joshua heroes. So you can't really use too many heroes that are just like, oh, search for a good OT fortress. There are some that do that, but I don't think there are really any options in Joshua. If I remember correctly, we'll find out. But Joshua's Covenant lets you exchange a card from hand with a Joshua card from deck, which you could exchange a card that you took from your opponent last turn or something, and then it would get shuffled back into their deck, but it wouldn't be in their hand. So that's kind of the important part. Like, so if you just take cards from them that you can't use, then you can basically switch them out for Promised Land in your deck to take something else with Joshua's Covenant. So let's put that in the reserve, and then let's put Book of the Covenant in the main deck. And that might need to switch around. I mean, depending on how many ways we have to get Book of the Covenant out, we might want to see, if that makes sense. But I think that's the right way to do it, especially if we want to do the New Covenant as well. The other option that maybe is better is just put Joshua's Covenant in the main deck, and then we can use the Tabernacle Priests with Book of the Covenant. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's put Joshua's Covenant in the main deck, Book of the Covenant. If you have a Tabernacle Priest in play, or if you control a Tabernacle Priest, you can take the Covenant from deck instead of reserve. So I believe we've got a couple of Tabernacle Priests in Israel's Inheritance that are Joshua to work with. So that, I think, is going to be the way to go. 12 Jordan Stones is the kind of Joshua artifact, the main one for the Joshua offense. I don't think it's going to be worth using. If John Hendricks is watching, he's like, Or why are you even talking about that card? Like, doesn't fit in. The Long Day is kind of the Joshua dominant. So, or from in this set. So, yeah, I think that's going to be worthwhile to use. You can take a good OT enhancer from discard pile and add a Joshua hero to battle. So yeah, it seems pretty good. It's kind of like battle extension. Also just like a way to interact without giving your opponent initiative. Or I guess if your opponent has initiative, then you can play this and get some other effect. Maybe you add a hero that negates their evil cards or one of their evil characters or something like that. I'm going to start with the heroes because that just makes sense to me. So yeah, here's our one Tabernacle Priest. Negate artifacts except Joshua artifacts. And we draw 2 or activate a Joshua artifact from deck. That seems pretty good. I like drawing and also Priest. If Joshua is in play, you may take an artifact. You may take a good Joshua card from reserve. So just some decent reserve access. And also Tabernacle Priest, so let's put them in. And yeah, I think Rahab is definitely worthwhile. Just help to get things set up by getting Scarlet Line and playing it right away. I like that. Caleb, I don't know that he's really that necessary in this build. I mean, the giving Joshua Heroes CVP is good, but I think that's kind of just a different style of Joshua deck. It's not necessarily trying to take all the things like we're trying to do. Maybe that's what I should call this deck. I just called it Take the Things, but I think Take All the Things would be better. I don't know. Maybe we'll do that at the end. But Joshua's Officiators. You can equip a gold weapon from deck. Or if Joshua's in play, take a fortress. May ban to a Joshua human. That seems like good value there. There aren't like that many. Here's Joshua. Let's put him in. There aren't that many like Joshua heroes outside of the set. So a lot of the heroes that we end up using are going to be from, or like we're going to end up using a lot of the heroes from this set. So it looks like Caleb is kind of the only like Joshua hero so far that I don't think is necessarily worth running at this point. But yeah, we'll put the other ones in and then see if we maybe have to trim back a little bit. But like, this guy lets you take an evil card from a territory. Who was the other one? Yeah, Spies at AI. This one, oh yeah. So here's a way to get Promised Land out. That seems pretty good. But you don't get to grab it before going out into battle. So you can play it in your discard phase and get the card that way, or you can just hang on to it for next turn. It's kind of just good to have multiple ways of doing it. But yeah, Spies at AI can take a good fortress from a deck. Reveal opponent's hand. If X is at least 3, you may take an evil card except a dominant. And it's take an evil card from that hand. That's kind of implied by the colon after reveal opponent's hand, just to clarify that, because you might read that and think, oh yeah, take, it doesn't specify, so it defaults to play. But no, since there's a colon after reveal opponent's hand, that means that the part that follows it refers to the opponent's hand, like what you're doing there. So yeah, so you reveal opponent's hand. If there are so yeah, I'm even like second guessing myself as I'm saying it, because like you're just looking at their hand, you're checking the condition, the number of evil brigades. I'm almost positive that it's take from their hand, but maybe it is in play. Okay, I'm going to confirm that, and it's going to be right here in the video. So you know, and now I know too. Hopefully, well, I don't yet, but I will. I'll find out for you guys. Okay, and then we also have some silver heroes that make sense in here. Captain of the Host, for sure. The Lord's Army, I don't think so. It is a Joshua hero, but not really trying to do too much silver. Strict Evil Dominance is okay. Then we have the Victorious Being. Draw 1 and exchange this card with a single brigade judge or profit from deck or discard pile. I think this card just goes into a lot of decks. It's kind of like Angel of the Winds, except it can go to discard pile and it gets you a draw 1. So that just seems pretty good. It's a little less flexible because it's it's not just any human, but it's a single brigade judge or prophet. But we're gonna have at least captain of the host and Joshua in here, and they're both fairly significant or like substantial characters for this offense for this deck. So I think that's going to be worthwhile. And the other nice part is that if I want to get that draw one value, like I have Victorious Being back in my hand, I can shuffle in Joshua or Captain with Shrine to Artemis, and then be able to exchange for him again for either one. So that'll be kind of nice. Okay, so then these Lost Souls, it's kind of the other thing. Let's try out Disoriented. I kind of like that. Negate their protection is just kind of good. I think this Lost Soul is going to be better if you have ways to reset it, which I don't think we're really gonna have in here unless I add Sheol or something like that. But for now, I think that's fine. Just put it in there. We'll try it out. That's what we're trying to do. We're just seeing what options we've got. So let's go look at our gold good enhancements. We got Ambush the City. It seems kind of fun. You get a new battle, a new opportunity to activate the effects of your heroes to take more things. Also, if you take one of your opponent's evil characters and maybe they're left with another one, perhaps a unique one, then you can attack. They have to block with their unique evil character. You just play Ambush the City, and the battle, you begin a new battle. They can't present the same unique character again because of the way that unique characters work. They can only enter battle once per turn, provided you have to have either a generic character or another unique character. But we've got some of those. We've got Stone Carriers and Joshua's Officiators, Spies at AI. I like AI. Spies at AI, and getting that effect twice is pretty cool. So yeah, I think Ambush the City doesn't necessarily win you the battle, but it can in some cases. So let's just put it in for now. Got Battle Cry, Interrupt, draw 1 or 3, probably 3, and then play an enhancement. Seems good. Crumbled from a Shout. Let's just put it in, and we'll probably have to cut some stuff. We're not running Caleb, so let's ditch Caleb's sword or not worry about that. Joshua's sword seems pretty good. Just straight up being able to discard a card, especially if you can equip it with this one guy, the Joshua's Officiators. You can, if you've got Joshua out, you can just equip the weapon to him from deck and then ban to him, get that effect right away, take out an artifact or a fortress. Yeah, seems good. Got us with you, right on point, what we were trying to do here. And Holy Ground probably will get cut, but we'll put it in, see what happens. Okay, are there any other heroes that I want to see in here? I think Angel of the Winds does still make the cut. We'll see where we're at with what heroes we want and stuff, but basically, because Angel of the Winds and the Victorious Being aren't really supposed to be on the battlefield, in territory, then I'm not really worried about them messing up Unity. They're just meant to be there to help us get set up early, which I think I think kind of the general idea of what you want to do is if you have Angel of the Winds, go to Rahab, and then Rahab will bring up we'll get out your Scarlet Line, kind of set you up for next turn. I'm not saying for sure that's what you're gonna want to do, but that just seems like the way to go. I am also wondering if Rahab is supposed to be one of the white Rahab versions. I guess probably not Rahab the Defender, because she's a Ruth hero, so that would mess up the Unity for that. But maybe the white one from Cloud of Witnesses, just so we can play Lost Child Found on one of our heroes. Seems relatively important, but I don't know. It seems like that ability is just too good Scarlet Line already cannot be negated. So there's really not that much benefit to running this other Rahab other than Lost Child Found. Uh, Protect from harm. That's actually not bad. I kind of like that. Side access doesn't really matter. If spy enters battle, search a deck for a lost soul. Don't think we're going to be running spy. Well, we could. Let's just look at other Joshua heroes. I think that's kind of the, I don't know, next step. Look at what cards have a Joshua reference. We do have this synergy with Joshua artifacts on one of these heroes, I think. Yeah. One of the priests, yeah, activate a Joshua artifact from deck. So maybe Ark of the Covenant goes in. The new one is a Joshua artifact. Stocks of Flax, also a Joshua artifact, and can be activated on this Rahab. Sure, why not? We do have Hypocrisy in reserve, so I don't know. Stocks of Flax, switch things, play Hypocrisy to get them back. Yeah, I don't know. There's a thing there, or Lost Child Found can do that too. So this is all evil stuff. So let's go to the good stuff. We already got. Okay, we could do Lord Fights for You. That's from Roots. Joshua's Spear. Fall of Man, if he's my red hero. Yeah, probably not. Hailstones. I don't think we've got quite enough silver for that, unfortunately. The Old Jordan Interrupted. Army of the Lord, probably not in there. Captain's Sword. You can look at a hand if used by Captain of the Host, paralyze an evil character this turn. Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't look at the mono silver enhancements. I think maybe this was the only one from Israel's Inheritance. I don't think. Well, I don't know. If you're taking stuff from their hand, then paralyzing an evil character is kind of nice to get that. It's nice to get that effect. Also, or like just limiting more what they can do. Where's the guy? Then he only equips a gold weapon from deck though. So notably, this could equip like an Executioner's Sword to your Herods if you, if you're playing like a Herod's, or I guess even like you could equip a Foreign Horses to something in your defense, because it is a gold weapon. It does have evil gold, but it's still gold. So that's kind of the funny way of how gold works, and also part of why it's no longer being printed. Evil gold, that is. But you can equip like a Foreign Horses, Everyman's Sword. You have to equip it to an evil character, of course. It has to be matching alignment, but it just says gold weapon, so that's kind of cool. Foreign Spears. It's gold and black. Okay, so Joshua's Scribes. Don't think that's where we're at. Spy. I don't think so either. We'll put it in there because we might run this Rahab, but I don't know. Then yeah, I think that's all we got for Joshua heroes that are runnable. Like we can have a different Joshua in there. If we could have Joshua Son of None too, that'd be kind of cool, but that is not the case. So all right. I think that's a good start. We're at 53 right now. We've got one Lost Soul, and we've got 6 cards in reserve. So let's go ahead and just grab some dominance here. We're gonna start off with the staples. I guess we do have one dominant in here so far, right? Yeah, we've got the Long Day. So we're gonna want 3 woes. I want the fundraiser one. I mean, the fundraiser one is cool and all, but I want to get fancy. All right. We do have, how many wilderness heroes do we have? Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So Angel of God maybe goes in here. I don't know. We could try it out. Doesn't stay a hero long enough to mess up our unity, so might as well. Second Coming is good. Son of God, obviously good. Let's grab an Old Testament one, I guess, in case that matters. Since we're an Old Testament theme, I think Shipwreck is good here, just to deal with any like protect fortresses. But maybe Joshua, the Joshua theme has enough ways to deal with that. I don't think I want Mayhem. Kind of want to just control what they have in their hand. We can do Crowd's Choice. Just put it in there for now. See where things go. Buckler. Could consider that. We've got only the one weapon though. Oh no, he has two if I include Captain Sword. But plenty of warriors. So I mean, it's yeah, could be good. And then let's grab Vain Philosophy too, just because we're kind of a hand control deck more or less. So I'll just put it in there. So we ended up with like 10 dominance or something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, we're gonna have to cut a couple of those, and then let's just check out some Lost Souls. What would be good here? We could do Aimless just to help get our offense out quickly. I think maybe the I don't know if we're a complacent deck. Probably not, because we want the trying to figure out what kind of like Lost Souls we're going for here. If we go with Angel of God and or the Long Day, then we probably aren't complacent. So let's just grab Darkness. That's a pretty good standard Lost Soul. Maybe Distressed. Just again, think of anything in particular that's gonna be like, oh, I need this for this theme. Like to have for like looking at their hand and stuff. Like I don't think a look at their hand Lost Soul is necessarily worth it, unfortunately. I do like it. I do like Open Hand and the new ones from the starter decks, that effect. But I don't think it's good enough for Lost Soul. We definitely got to put the new Prosperity promo in there. We could put in Remnant just for fun. Takes things from our opponent. And I think that's pretty good. We could put Wanderer in there. Kind of takes things. Yeah, let's just do that for now. Is there a reason to put the like shepherds and like are there a lot of things that I'm gonna want to reset? I mean, like I could underdeck their cards that I'm not gonna be able to use. So I don't know. Let's put shepherds and grumbled in here, and we'll see if they stick. Yeah, that's definitely enough Lost Souls. So all right, we went from what 53 to 71 cards. So I am going to go ahead and sort this out on my my playing surface here, and then we'll take a look at what we got. Trim things down a little bit. All right. Hopefully you enjoyed my sorting montage that was, probably more meticulous than I needed to be, but that's just the way that I am. And I will say I didn't go through the process of alphabetizing everything like I normally do for my videos. So be grateful for that, I guess. Um, I did kind of start organizing at least the good enhancements a little bit by kind of their function. And I think that that's going to be probably where we're going to start, by just trimming things from the offense, because here you can see we've got 3, 6, 13 good enhancements and like 14 heroes here. A couple of things that I did add just to thoughts I had like while I was sorting was, for one, the Tabernacle. Um, it's a way to, for one, cycle back Lost Child Found, which is, can be a good way to, or a cool way to do things. If you attack with these Tabernacle Priests, they enter battle, or musicians. One of these, is there a musician in here? No. Oh, right. I was thinking of, involves, and Victorious Being involves music, is not a musician, though. But anyways, that's a way to get Lost Child Found back from the discard pile, which is kind of cool, or another way to get it from reserve, I guess. Um, and then I added 4 living creatures because, and I guess Tabernacle also holds Arc and Book. So seems like it fits well. The 4 living creatures then is to have an option for a white hero that can play Lost Child Found, and then also it does disrupt the Unity, but it can be controlled, because once per round you can return 4 living creatures to hand. So you got to be careful. Like, I mean, you can definitely get the Unity for the, if put in play, effective Promised Land, but then, if you put 4 living creatures back down, then you're not gonna get the benefit of, if your hero is blocked, you may take a good OT gold card from deck, but that's not what we're going for here. That's not the purpose of this deck, right? So that is, I guess, kind of the idea. I was also thinking about if there were any ways that we could include easily that could get Promised Land back from the discard pile if they happen to have a shipwreck or something to take it out, or some other discard a card or a fortress thing, kind of, if they have their own Joshua's Sword. Then what do I do then? Unfortunately, there aren't really any easy ways to get fortresses from the discard pile, other than playing like Haggai, and also then that requires having a Persian play, is very far from being a Joshua hero. So it's just, I don't think it's going to work. Unfortunately, it just wouldn't be worth it. If they get rid of Promised Land, they get rid of Promised Land. It doesn't hinder the strategy too much, but obviously it means that we can't play Promised Land as many times as we might want to. So that is where we're at there. So we're at 73 cards total, which means if I want to get down to 56, I got to cut at least 17. I know that I am going to have to cut just two dominants here, and then let's see, we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lost souls. So I'll have to cut. Well, let's just make it a 57 card deck, and just for the sake of this video, kind of save time a little bit. So I need to cut 2 lost souls and 1 dominant, which means I need to cut, and then we're going down to 57. So from 73 to 57 is 16. So 13 non-dominant, non-lost soul cards, and I could just cut Hopper, because that's we're not necessarily trying to make this the strongest deck around. So let's just cut Hopper for now, make it an even 12. So 12 more cards that we either need to cut or move to reserve. That, as I'm saying that, kind of makes me wonder, okay, what reserve access cards do we have that we can get some stuff from reserve? So Joshua, just a free take a Joshua card from reserve. That could be good or evil. Of course, we're not really going to utilize the evil part, but yeah, that's something to note for later on. This, or for other strategies, I guess, if you want to do like Canaanites with your Joshua offense. Valiant Warrior lets you take a good Joshua card from reserve, and Stone Carriers can exchange with a unique Joshua hero from deck or reserve. And Trumpeting Priests lets you get a good Joshua card from reserve. So lots of reserve access for Joshua cards, particularly good Joshua cards. I think Ambush the City is one that you kind of want to have as a surprise kind of thing. Holy Ground, I think we kind of already talked about that getting cut. Let's just put it in the reserve for now. I think Lord Fights for You is definitely a reserve card. I sorted out these, I had 3 kind of straight up battle winners, or cards that are intended to be battle winners. And so I think Lord Fights for You fits well in reserve, and I think Crumbled from a Shout is kind of in the same boat. Joshua's Command is a little bit more flexible because it can be used not just as a battle winner, but also as a negate. And then also takes from their deck, so fits right in with our strategy here. Scarlet Line is going to want to be in the main deck as well. Amazing Faith could go in reserve because we've got New Covenant to grab it out, but I think I like that in main deck as well here. This would be a good OT enhancement, right? Yeah, okay. I think Joshua's Sword goes in the main deck. Really sold on if Captain Sword stays, so I'm thinking probably we cut Captain Sword and we probably cut Buckler. So let's go ahead and do that. That kind of takes care of one of the option, or like the one of the missing, or one of the, I don't know, one of the things we needed to take care of, I guess, which is which dominant to cut. Honestly, Angel of God could have been up on that list too. Maybe Buckler is still better than Angel of God, but I like having all the battle extension kind of stuff. It's kind of neat, I guess. So let's grab Amazing Faith, put that in the keep pile. Teaching Parables going to be the same. I think God is With You is also decent, like early game one. Fruit of the Land, I like that you can recycle it. We only have one other territory class enhancement, or at least on offense. I guess we do have a few on defense, but maybe Ambush the City doesn't stay in the main deck. Maybe that does go in reserve. No, it seems pretty good on turn one. Like, I have enough generic characters where, if you have that, surprise them with it, you kind of catch them off guard. So I think I like Ambush. Maybe Battle Cry goes in reserve. Is that crazy? I don't know. Does Fruit of the Land start in reserve? I feel like 7 good enhancements is plenty. So let's just put both of them in there for now, and then we'll trim that down. Let's just put Holy Ground in. Let's just get that out of here. So let's see. I had 6 cards in the reserve, so now I'm at 10. I've got 4 in the banished pile, so that's 8 total moved out of the deck. We need 13 total, so 5 more cards, which really isn't that unreasonable. And on also, or I guess one of them was a dominant, so 6 more cards, and then 2 Lost Souls. Okay, so let's keep 4 living creatures. I kind of like the way that works out. We do also have Ark of the Covenant, which is a Heavenly Temple artifact, so we can get that each upkeep trigger, which is kind of cool. It also has gold, so just fits in. I just like the way that it fits. And then I think we might as well just keep, well, I don't know. Maybe we take out Rahab and Scarlet Line. And maybe we need Buckler back in here to help set up with the, yeah, okay. I think I'm on that train. Yeah, let's put Buckler back in here quickly. I kind of like this Rahab Lost Child Found with Tabernacle kind of thing. It's a little gimmicky, but let's cut the other Rahab. Let's then just also cut Scarlet Line. It's probably bad, but then that also means we can cut Stalks of Flax probably. So sorry if you're yelling at the screen, if you're like, Jaden, that's crazy. Well, sometimes you just got to try crazy things, make sure that they don't work, and then you can switch back. Okay, so what other heroes can we can put at least one in reserve, probably a unique one, which is, I guess maybe both the priests are unique. Valiant Warriors generic. And the priests are unique, then it's just Joshua, Rahab, and Captain. Interesting. Like I'm just thinking unique because of stone carriers. Are there any that we don't really want right away? I mean, I guess trumpeting priest is pretty bad on turn one, but I do like having both the priest and the main deck for Book of the Covenant. Hmm. I also did think about Aaron as a white option, the clay white Aaron the Peacemaker. But yeah, he would mess up the Unity more than for living creatures because he doesn't have a way to self bounce. You know, I've got 20 shekels to bounce him, but I don't want to clog up the artifact slot too much. Like I've got Tabernacle for Book and Arc, and then my regular slot for 20 shekels and Shrine. I guess Spy comes out because we cut Rahab, so that kind of makes sense. Don't necessarily need Spy. Like we could put Rahab in reserve, but I also don't want to exchange her to battle with stone carriers, really. So yeah, I don't think that's the direction we're gonna go. I could cut Angel of the Winds. I'm not as desperate now to like get Rahab set up right away. And so any of these heroes are probably good. I mean, like Stone Carriers is maybe the best. But yeah, I think that we're probably okay without Angel of the Winds. And I think I still want one more like one hero option in reserve, especially if we do end up keeping Remnant in, which I'm not, not necessarily sold on yet, but could be an option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11's good, but I mean we've got other ways to heroes. What are we at now? So we're at 12 out of 16 cards cut. We've got Aimless as a way to get Wilderness Humans, which is everybody, but it's pretty much everybody but Rahab, yeah, and the Angels. But dang, maybe Angel of God is pretty good. Maybe that does fit well. So what does get cut then? Maybe just Shipwreck. Do we have enough ways to deal with their protection? Takes an evil card, negates a neutral card, takes an artifact. Is it really just Joshua's Spear that takes out the fortresses? I mean, like Teaching in Parables can negate it. Pilfer can negate it. Yeah, we don't need Shipwreck, right? Yeah, let's get that out of here. All right. So we're at 8 dominance. We've got 10 lost souls still. Let's just keep the cycle lost souls. I kind of like those, especially if we're running 57, just to kind of keep things moving along. So let's get rid of Distressed, especially because that could hurt us if they covet or exchange for it. No, we'll just take out Wanderer. We'll just keep things simple. People could be running Crowd's Lost Soul, so that could be a reason to keep Wanderer. But we can negate neutral cards with Stone Carriers, and we can negate it with Teaching and Pilfer. Yeah, with Disoriented. You got plenty of options. Okay, so we're up to 15 cards cut, which means that this is all 58 cards. It's a legal deck. We could just play 58. Got 10 in reserve, but I think I just kind of feel like I want one hero in reserve. Maybe another like Gospel enhancement for New Covenant. I think I could play the one of the dual alignment. Clay or Gold and Crimson. Let's just do that. Type contains good enhancement. So let's see. Got this one. Gospel Heroes alone. But Thief. That one requires NT Heroes. That's evil gold. Yeah, I guess it's pretty much just this one. If I do want to have like some tricky, you know what? Yeah, it takes stuff from the opponent. Let's do that. Let's put Restitution, Extortion, and Reserve. That's kind of fun. I'm just making my job a little more difficult, but here we are. It's okay. GOC. Okay. Let's put that in reserve. Gotta cut some other stuff, though. Maybe I don't need to put another hero in. I was thinking about maybe just cutting Mask of Vanity. Like, I don't really need my own stuff. I just need to take my opponent's stuff and then use it against them, you know? And just having a unique hero in reserve would be really nice, but I just don't know. Like, does Joshua go in reserve? That seems a little wild, right? But, like, he's not that great on turn 1 unless I have Joshua's sword to go with him. But if I'm keeping Buckler, then I don't know. And with Victorious Being, yeah, I guess he stays in. Stays in main. Rahab, yeah, I don't think she... Maybe Rahab does go in reserve. I'm not going to exchange her for her with Stone Carriers, but there's just so much stuff I can get for free, and then I've got 4 living creatures in here too. Let's just do that. Let's put her in reserve. Got ways to get her out. Plenty of ways, I think, to get her out. Okay, so then I just need to cut 2 cards from my reserve. I think that's the way. So I think we cut Thievery of Judas. I'm okay with that, I believe. And then probably one of these 4 enhancements. Start up to Exio characters, number of your Joshua heroes. I think that's just straight up better than the Lord Fights for You. Like, I don't think we need both. And I don't want to take out my own. So yeah, let's just cut those 2. So that is the final list. That's where we're at. Let's sort up this reserve here. Also, I think I should get credit for double ambush deck. So much ambushing. Aren't any other ambushes right now, right? I don't think so. All right, this is the deck. Let me just double check. So what I like to do is I like to save the game, put it all into the deck. Look at that, 57 cards. We could even do a little test draw, see what a hand looks like. Why not? Now this looks kind of terrible, to be honest. But there's no Lost Souls, so I mean, hey, maybe it holds up. We get a Priest of Zeus down right away. You could play a Betrayal. I mean, like, we get like good hand control right away. Yeah, kind of a weird for. I mean, we go second if we have the choice. We can do Fence Jumpers, can play Betrayal, get a draw 3, have Pilfers back up, then draw 3 more cards on our turn. Look at that. There's plenty of cards to do things with. So yeah, I kind of like that. So I saved the game before shuffling everything in, and now I can just load save game, go back to here, and I can see. The main thing was just putting it into the deck to see that it was 57 cards, kind of confirming. Now I can use this as a reference to go back to here, like, okay, what cards did I cut and what did I move? And then kind of have the deck list finalized there. I won't make you guys sit through all of that, though. So this is the deck that I came up with for taking all the things. Who knows? Maybe I will use it in the first round of the latest and greatest Lackey Grand Prix, which I believe is number 17. The signups for that are still currently going. So if you want to sign up, I think there's already probably like 10 to 15, probably like 15 people. I would estimate, just based on like how frequently I've seen people going. I haven't actually counted or anything, but that's just kind of my best guess right now. People that are signed up for it. So if you are interested in a 1 game a week Lackey tournament that usually goes like 4 rounds. With this one, if we have enough, maybe it'll go 5 rounds. And then there's usually a top 4 top cut that will happen after those rounds of Swiss. You just get paired up with one person each week. It's up to the two of you to coordinate when you will be able to play your game. You have a deadline, usually like a Monday, morning or something deadline to get your game in, and then and that can switch, or that, I'm just saying Monday as an example. That's when it's planning to start this time around, is this coming Monday. So that's kind of your last chance to sign up and be a part of that. If you haven't tried that out before, it's a good time, and you get to you can try a different deck every time. You don't have to own any of the cards. You can just build something in Lackey and try it out. I think it's going to be great. We've got a lot of people signed up because I think in part because people just want to play with the cards in the new set. So we didn't want to waste too much time getting this Lackey Grand Prix going after the new set came out on Lackey. So I'm pretty excited. I'll be playing, and hope to see you there. So without further ado, if you play me in the first round, put some protection in your deck, I guess. See if it works. And I might, or you could just put a bunch of bad cards in your deck so that the cards that I take, aren't as effective for me. That could work too. But anyways, this could be the deck. Maybe I'll save it for later, just to surprise somebody. But I'm excited to keep on building with Israel's Inheritance, see what kind of stuff we can come up with, what fun combos there are hidden in the undiscovered parts of the set. So all that to say, head out into Lackey and get building, share some deck lists. That'd be fun to see. And yeah, we'll catch you around. See ya on the server.